Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. When was the last time we talked about compensation? It feels like it's been ages, but that's not because EA hasn't been making mistakes. Today it's about something that EA did wrong that people feel like they can take advantage of, which made this card go from 150,000 coins all the way to 1,000,000 coins in a short time span, all because people thought they were going to get compensated their coins back. We're going to talk about that today and why I don't think EA is going to do anything about it. But still, how often does a card go from 150k to 1,000,000 coins because of a card that is still messed up, by the way? We're going to talk about that. But today is a big day of content with the expectation of earning these live fantasy Premier League cards for games that are being played in the midweek. That's right, game week 29. The games that these players are maybe playing today and tomorrow over the weekend do not count for their upgrades, but we can get these cards starting today and maybe start planning some funny business with evolutions on top of those upgrades. We'll discuss that a bit today, and it's a day for free packs. There's free packs out for grabs with the pro event that's happening today. And we got to discuss market, new content coming today on Saturday, including an SBC that's expiring at content that you might want to get involved in. There's a lot to discuss. If you're excited for this one, guys, drop a thumbs up on it, hype the video if you can, and subscribe if you are new. Now, yesterday was a promo Friday, so there's a lot going on. But there's also a new kind of beginner objective. This might be the most random piece of content yesterday. Foundations Mode Mastery with a couple of small packs and some SP inside of here from all the different game modes that you can play. So I guess just play the game normally and you'll get that objective done. The group reward is an 84 plus Team of the Week pack from Team of the Weeks 1 through 20. So maybe a slight chance there at some older Team of the Week cards. But in objectives, I do want to point out the Silver Superstars League is back out once again since we're nearing the end of this current season 5. And guys, I'll be honest, there are some good packs in here. An 88x5 group reward. You've got a couple of other 85 and 86 plus packs and a couple of playstyle or a couple of evos for playstyles. You've got a playstyle base evolution giving Tiki Taka technical quick step and press proven for max 87 rated cards. And for winning 20 matches out of the 35, that's a fixed number, 35 matches that there are in this World Tour Silver Superstars League, you do get an Inventive Plus, Playstyle Plus Evo for a second Playstyle Plus there. Honestly, though, I had a lot of excitement and hype for these silver tournaments at the beginning of the year. As of now, these just don't really excite me as much. Maybe it's because there's just so many other gameplay modes that are out right now. It feels like, why would I want to add another one to my list? Even though it is a very unique squad to play with, maybe I'll just play a couple of these games to get a few of the rewards. I'm not quite sure. It just seems like a lot at the moment, so many different places to play. But if that interests you, that is out. Now, of course, yesterday with fantasy content and objectives, we had a new Desich objective card here. The best part of this objective, besides the card, might be the fact there's 3,000 SP. If you need to catch up on the season pass like I do, there's 1,000 here and then 2,000 for the group reward. So that is pretty good. And of course, as we already looked at, EA dropped the Fantasy Premier League cards that we can actually obtain today as a part of Saturday content. Once again, all you have to do is play one rush match in the new Flash Rush event that is coming today with a player from the specific club of the card you want, and you're going to be able to get that card. Also, you get a cosmetic Evo and an 80 plus times 10, which is a solid pack for playing 2 games of Rush when you complete this objective too. Now, I mentioned Evos with these cards, and you might already see some people starting to scheme up how they could upgrade an 85 rated Trossard or an 85 rated Ahmad, because some of these players do fit evolutions, and I think there's going to be some potential to Evo these cards. Remember what happened last week with the Maston Tuono Showdown card? He was getting some upgrades, and you could put him into an Evo and then get some extra upgrades on top of the Evo if you did this certain method of putting the card into the Evo, not claiming it, waiting for the upgrade, and then claiming the Evo after that, henceforth getting some additional upgrades on your card. If you want to try some funny business, as we'll call it, with these cards, you can, but I will tell you this is the biggest thing you have to worry about. If you're going to Evo any of these cards as they're 85 rated before they get their upgrades, you just have to be careful with the play styles and any playstyle pluses you may give them. We've experienced this multiple times so far this year, that if you Evo a live card and that card gets a playstyle or playstyle plus boost, you could be at risk, and it's actually very possible that you could lose playstyle upgrades you've put on the cards. The best example of this is my Javi Simons. I put Finesse Plus on this card as his first playstyle plus, put him into another Evo, and he had Technical and Finesse Plus, and then that got replaced, and now he does not have the Finesse Plus on his card anymore. So that's an unfortunate thing that could happen, and one word of warning I want to give you guys if you're thinking about evoing those cards. But there could be some opportunity to make some really crazy cards and get some additional stats. It's just going to be a bit of a tough thing to try to figure out, I think, with those cards. So just be watching those, and those upgrades won't happen until later on in the week anyway, because again, as we've been talking about, the games for those cards and objectives, those 85 rated ones, aren't played until the midweek of this next week. Now, let's keep it moving by taking a look at yesterday's Evo content. We had a max 87 left mid Evo that gives a very unique opportunity. And guys, if you haven't seen Twitter at all today on Saturday, early in the morning, at least when I'm recording this, there's been a lot of news about the Rapid Plus and Quick Step Plus combination. People are saying that with those two playstyle pluses, which is now a first with the Evo combining those two playstyle pluses on players here, you can create some wicked fast cards with both playstyle pluses there for pace. People are saying these cards are really, really crazy, especially the Lauren James card in the promo team because she is lengthy. However, this Evo right here, taking it back to this piece of content, 40,000 coins, you get 5-star skills, it gives the striker position some pretty big overall boost, good base playstyles, like it does give Trickster Plus if you don't have a playstyle plus already, which maybe you don't want, but Trickster base is a dub. You get the rapid base playstyle, technical base playstyle. I think this Santi Cazorla, I'm not going to Evo him as a Spurs fan, but that's a crazy card for Santi Cazorla right there. That's a really cool one. I'm not sure who I want to put in this evolution. There's even like cards like this Teo Hernandez that people can put into this. For 40,000 coins, you know what? Like this Evo is good. I think it's good for a lot of players. It's great for some players, like Claudia Pina. If you saved Claudia Pina's Player of the Month card from way back when, it's kind of putting her back on the map. Not that she ever left the hype of being a meta card. That's the card you think of when you think of FC26, but her Player of the Month here goes a huge plus 11 rating increase in the pace department and a little bit of a dribbling boost with a 5-star skill move upgrade. Antoine Griezmann's card from Scream looks really good. And then you have some other chains that are involved here as well. And of course, those cards that look great in this Evo are the ones that are moving up the most on the market. Griezmann's gone from 70K up to 113. And this Claudia Pina is extinct in price on the market. So again, I'd describe that Evo as good for some cards, great for a few cards, and overall solid if you find the right player for it. Now, there was a second Evo that we had yesterday as well called Bench Boost. And again, sticking with the silver tournament that we have out right now, this Evo gives Precision Header Plus, which maybe isn't the best, but it does give some decent stat boost, and it might be worth putting on a silver card if you plan to play in the silver tournament. Now, let's go to SBCs because, guys, there was one SBC that a lot of people were talking about yesterday. But the first SBC we got to discuss is Diego Forlan. And after hearing about how likely he is to upgrade, this is an SBC that I think maybe more people should be considering. I'm writing this one off right away when I look at it because 87 dribbling, maybe just not the one for me with other great strikers already in my club, other great strikers through icon swaps, R9, that are out there. You know, 92 shooting, 91 pace is good. 5-star weak foot's good. Finesse, quick step, great play styles. I get it. But if you take a look at the potential for upgrade for Atletico Madrid here, and even the potential to like win the domestic cup, the Copa del Rey, they're in a really good position. They have a really good chance to win that cup. This card could be not just poised for upgrades here and now, but also that bigger upgrade in the future, whatever the further boosts are if they win the cup. So for 350,000 coins, which seems not as expensive as you'd think for 10 squads. Like 10 squads seems like a lot. 350K doesn't seem like a lot. You know, I don't think it's a terrible SBC, but I think it's one that most people are going to skip unless you really, really want that card for the upgrades or maybe for the Uruguayan links, for La Liga links. But the SBC that a lot of people are talking about is Raheem Sterling, the new transferred to Feyenoord player, 4-star, 4-star. He's got right mid, and left wing positions, really good dribbling stats, really good pace stats, Great play styles as well. Tiki-taka incisive's got that finesse. Maybe he's just missing a low driven, but he's got the rapid plus and the quick step as well. Inside forward and winger plus plus in almost all of his positions. Like, that is a good card, and it's not that expensive. It's not super cheap, though. I mean, the fact that you see 287 rated squads in here, and we're saying that this is, you know, a semi-well-priced SBC, just also tells you how cheap Fodder is at the moment. This is only 130,000 coins to complete, and as you can see, he is 77% upvoted because it is such a recognizable player with a history in the Premier League, with a unique animation in terms of his running style in-game. I think it's a solid card, and there's a chance that he could get upgrades. It is out for a week, so you could wait and see how they perform this weekend before locking your fodder into that if you wanted to, but that is a maybe more so of a fun SBC. Also, to round up the SBC content yesterday, we had a Prime Mixed Players Pack Challenge SBC here, and a Player of the Month, Miku Datse, who's just an 84 and 85 rated squad, who does at least have Finesse Plus and First Touch, so if you're collecting Georgian players or something like that, you can go ahead and collect the Villarreal striker here for the La Liga Player of the Month. Now, let's keep it moving, guys, and talk about the cards in packs. I had a bunch of saved up packs yesterday. I opened literally all of them. I packed a lot of promo cards. I really did. Like, if we go take a look at my club and sort by newest, I got a lot of the new cards from those packs yesterday. Some of the packs from the Fantasy League, of course, which had some pretty high rating guarantees. I packed Onawachu, who actually has already got himself an upgrade. He scored yesterday, so he's going to be getting a playstyle plus and a base playstyle added to his card. Cosme I packed Nakata, Nadozi, Milo, Batarina, and no, that guy was from Team 1. But I packed like 6 promo cards yesterday, but most of them were just fodder. So I say that, you know, the pack weights may be decent, but I just had some really good packs, and I was packing more so fodder cards. When you take a look at the prices of these guys on the market, they're expensive, and that's to be expected. And I would think that most of these cards would drop off today. But also what I've seen from these cards in the market is that a lot of people are wanting to use them, specifically this man right here, Adama Traore. His card yesterday, right at content, was about 290,000 coins. He then went extinct as people just saw what an absolute beast of a card he looks like. 96 pace with the rapid, the low driven, bruiser, and enforcer. Nobody's getting this guy off of the ball. 95 strength. He just looks like a fun card to try. And the fact that he is live, I mean, how many upgrades is he going to get? I don't exactly know, but he is a live card. He's up to 440,000 coins right now. But like we talk about with normal promos, and even though this is a live promo with upgrading cards, I would still treat these cards the same way. Today, if you look at their cards right now after this video is posted to where they would be by the time tomorrow's video is posted, I bet almost every single card in this team will be lower in price, at least the ones that can go lower. The ones that are discard are still going to be discard, but that's just because they're going to get packed more today through Foot Champs rewards. The only caveat to that scenario would be like the Joao Felix from last week. Remember, he scored and got himself an early upgrade from the first day of games for Fantasy Team 1 last week. So, you know, there could be some cards with games today that maybe score or assist that could get themselves an upgrade and that would help their prices stay up. But for the most part, even with games happening today, like I believe Manchester City played today, if I'm not mistaken, so Reinders could potentially earn some upgrades. You know, I still think this card would end up being cheaper at the end of the night. Maybe some rises into the morning today, but after that, I bet prices would drop. Same thing with the heroes. There's upgrades that are out there for the taking with these cards too, or at least progress towards those upgrades, but I'd imagine most of these drop into the night tonight on Saturday per normal. Now, let's talk about the biggest story from this team in packs, and that is Pablo Aimar, a 93.0 foot bin rating, center attacking mid with Tiki Taka and Pinged Pass Plus. Right away after content yesterday, we were scrolling through the new cards, and I saw this one, right? Aimar is a new hero this year. Card looks pretty solid. It really does, if we're being honest. He's got great play styles, but when you notice on the card here, he's got La Liga League. And when you click inside of the card at the details, it says Benfica. And that's where the issue is with this card. His card is technically messed up because if he is live and upgrading for Benfica, then the league on his card should be the Liga Portugal, not the La Liga. Or is he actually supposed to be a La Liga player and upgrade for Valencia? It's kind of crazy that this card has been out now for about 12 hours as of me recording this video in the game, and EA has not said anything about it because I don't believe there's any other fantasy card that has been released that has a different league for chemistry than the league that it upgrades for, because that's usually, going together. The card is getting upgraded for a certain club, and that club is also in a league that the card gets chemistry for the hero chemistry. So there's something messed up with this card. And yesterday when people saw this, we saw it like right away on stream. He was 150,000 coins within the first 10 minutes of being listed on the market. You can see here, this is like the original Aimar from 150K yesterday, right when he came out. His card started to fly because he had the incorrect league. And the reason why his price started to go up and it went all the way to 1 million coins, you can see behind the face cam here, I'll show you. This is my shocked face of what the heck is going on here with this Aimar card. The reason this was happening was because people were remembering what happened in FC24 during the same promo of Foot Fantasy with Yaya Toure and a couple of other cards. Back in FC24, what happened was Yaya Toure had Premier League chemistry when he was upgrading for La Liga. And when he had Premier League chemistry, what happened was EA compensated everybody who bought the card when he had the wrong chemistry by giving them the coins back that they paid for that player. So inadvertently, what happened in this scenario was people bought tens of 20s of this Yaya Toure card, and he was millions of coins. And what happened was EA gave out millions and millions of coins to people who bought and sold those cards. So what happened was people were thinking, oh, that's going to happen again in FC26. They started buying up this Aimar card for 100, 200, 300, 500, up to 1 million coins this card went. All of people in hopes, thinking they were going to get their coins back, returned to them, and buying the player and then selling it multiple times would then just basically give you a whole bunch of coins, because you weren't losing coins really on the transaction. You would be getting the full purchase price back, if that makes sense. But guys, I don't think EA is going to make this compensation in FC26, because the reason I don't think that is, number one, they have not compensated any card in terms of giving your coins back to you since FC24, because it absolutely cooked the market that year. And I think EA learned their lesson and they're never going to do it again. That's the first reason why. The second reason is we have had so many less compensation scenarios this year from EA, which does not mean they've made less mistakes. They have made a lot of mistakes this year. We've talked about so many different things that have been wrong with this game, content-wise, packs with the wrong description, SBCs that have the wrong description and stuff like that. They just haven't been doing compensation for those things this year like they have in previous years. Now, there's been a couple instances where we've gotten maybe an icon pick back or a certain pack returned to you and a second chance to open it because there was a problem with it. Of course, how could we forget about the Lamine Yamal situation? But what was their compensation for that? Nothing. Like, there was no compensation. I know that's a bit of a different situation, but that word compensation just has not been used that much this year in FC26. So that's why I'm really not thinking they're going to do anything about this Aimar card. I'm just a little surprised that they haven't even tweeted about it yet. That's the thing that I'm a little bit concerned with. So if you wondered why people are tweeting like myself about Aimar going up to 1 million coins yesterday, that is the situation there. It is all basically community hype driven based off of trying to take advantage on what once was a compensation situation. Now, what I want to do look at with these fantasy cards, moving on a little bit, is upgrades that have been earned. You may have seen on the market yesterday a couple of fantasy cards from Team 1 going up and a couple going down. If we search for the Augsburg center back, Kevin Schlotterbeck, this was the perfect scenario for him. Augsburg won 2-0. They kept a clean sheet, and he has, I believe, eclipsed the 12 defensive actions upgrade. So this card is in line, I believe, for a triple upgrade, getting a +1 overall for the win, keeping the clean sheet, which is going to give him a playstyle plus and a base playstyle, and then getting a 5-star skill move or weak foot boost as well. So he's basically going to be max boost. I don't think they're going to be able to get to the 10 league goals, but his card has gone from 35,000 coins up to 49k. Paulo Futre earned an upgrade yesterday, so did Onawachu, as we mentioned, and a couple of other cards. But the flip side is, and this is where a lot of cards are going to end up today, there were cards that didn't get upgrades as well from games yesterday. And, well, there's an upgrade that hangs in the balance. That's the best way to describe it here with Douglas Luiz. Yesterday, Villa played against Wolves. Wolves won 2-0, right? Of course, everybody was thinking Villa was going to win, but Wolves won 2-0. Now, the crazy thing with this is there was a clean sheet being held by Aston Villa into the 60th minute. And if you guys know, according to what EA posted on their website, a player has to play for 60 minutes before a clean sheet will count. Now, Douglas Luiz was subbed off at the 60th minute. It was actually the 59th minute with about 30 seconds in real life. He was subbed off the pitch, and a minute later, Wolves scored. So there's a lot of contention with this. Will Douglas Luiz get the upgrade for a clean sheet, or will he not? According to FPL statistics, which I know EA doesn't necessarily use, it looks like he may not, because it says in FPL that he did not get credit for the clean sheet because he was subbed off before the actual 60th minute, even though, again, it shows here as the 60th minute. He left the pitch before the clock hit the 60th minute. It's all up in the air right now with this card. We're just going to have to wait and find out. I'm not wanting to invest in this to see. His card price did drop off heavily after the game because people saw that they lost, right? A reason that this card dropped wasn't just the fact that the clean sheet is up in the air, but the fact that they lost and he didn't get 3 points for the upgrade is one of the reasons he went from 350k down to 270,000 coins. Now, he is going back up a bit because he's very popular and the pros are using him in a lot of their teams today. So there could be an opportunity for him to go up a little bit just based on hype. But in terms of upgrades, this is why we sell into the hype. And I'll be watching this very closely to see what happens on Wednesday when EA upgrade Fantasy FC cards. However, there are good news. There is good news for prices of Team 1 of this FC Fantasy team that maybe hasn't played games yet this weekend. Take a look at players like Bruno Lewandowski. After yesterday's just okay content, a lot of these cards went back up in value. Antoine Semenyo's 1.3 million coins. Noah Lang is up like 5 to 7k. Diaby's up a bit. Joao Felix is flying. Salma Parluelo is up. It is nice to see these cards rising, but I really think it was because the lack of content. And you guys know me, as I said, you can hold these cards. And if you have a situation like Kevin Schlotterbeck, where his multiple upgrades are clinched, and it's looking good for that card to get a bunch of upgrades, you could see prices go up. But guys, selling in the hype is going to be the way to go because you saw what happened with Douglas Luiz. Let's say the game doesn't go your way, prices absolutely will drop. Other than that, the market yesterday was a great place to trade. I had picked up 3 Rodris for 600k before content, sold them at 660,000 coins. I picked up a Fabregas just a bit ago for 1 million coins, sold them at 1.09. What else did I do yesterday? Not a whole lot. I have a couple of trades going at the moment. I picked up a Vieira. Yes, the big boy Vieira for about 2.05 million, hoping to sell him for about 2.3 million coins there. Picked up a couple of Javi, the Icon Javi, Thunderstruck Icon Javi for around 720k, hoping he goes above 800k where he has been. I'm going to wait for some rarity spikes, hopefully today on Saturday as well. So we're making good money there. If you want to get on the market and trade, absolutely do it. Also, this weekend, Fodder investment time. We got to get involved in Fodder. 85s, 1.5k, get involved. 88s, 6,000 coins, get involved. 87s for 4k, get involved. 89s for 11,000 coins or below, specifically below that 10k, would be a great price to get involved as well. Get on bids, because when you take a look at the player graphs, they have never been 11,000 coins. Like, this is the cheapest that 89 rateds have been. And that kind of tells you the state of SBCs. But we're heading into Foot Birthday, and I think that there's going to be bigger SBCs during Foot Birthday. There's even some Icon SBCs, of course, that we have leaked upcoming. That could make some of that higher rated fodder go up. It almost feels low enough to me that you can make one of those investments where you just say, you know what, this is low enough. I don't care. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to sit on it and wait for whatever SBCs it takes to make those prices go up, because fodder right now is just too cheap to go too much lower without being called an investment. So that would be what I would advise for you guys. I'm still, holding on to a couple of my team of the weeks, probably just going to lazy list those. I believe team weeks are down bad. How low are we talking? Team of the weeks are minimum price, 11,000 coins. I bet you can still get some lazies for like 14, 15K, where I'll try to sell mine at. But other than that, I might just hold on to those until team of the weeks go back up again. But I do believe fodder will be a solid investment. Now, let's take a look at Saturday's content today that we're expecting. Of course, I want to start with the stuff happening in objectives with these FPL cards. Once again, the Flash Rush event's going to come out. There will be probably a player reward there, but you just got to play 2 games. 1 game with a Spurs player for me, 1 game with a Leeds player for me to get both Aronson and Matisse Tell, and then we'll get the pack, and that'll be done. That's all you got to do for these cards for the upgrades in their games based on FPL points happening later on this next week. So that is today. Watch out for that mode. But also in objectives, we have free packs. If you go to the FC Pro tab here, you can see that the E-Premier League is going to be starting today before the content drop time. So make sure you're watching. Is this on the official EA Sports FC Twitch channel? Yeah, the EA Sports FC Twitch channel. You watch for 15 minutes, you get an 83/3. You watch for 60 minutes, just open the tab and let it run. You get an 84/4 and then an 86/3 if you watched the La Liga games earlier this month. Those are some decent little packs right there just for turning on a stream and watching some of those games. Now, like I said as well, for that Douglas Luiz and maybe even for the Fabregas card, it is worth watching some of the cards that the pros are using today. Woo, that's another bit of an undercut there for Fabregas. This card is just so rare, but a lot of people want to use him. Keep an eye on these cards because there will be players that get hyped up today based on the pros using them. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of pros playing. So keep an eye out on those because there could be opportunities to trade. And also, guys, we still have the leaks out there. Rooney, Team of the Year, and Puyol Time Warp are SBCs that could be incoming. I bet we get 1 player SBC today. Could be either of those 2 or somebody from this list. We've got Ruggeri, Anton, and Kokchu with official stats on Ruggeri that look solid, and also a Fulkrug card as well. Maybe this would be like the Flash Rush event objective player potentially. Just watch out for that because any of these players that have been leaked could be dropping there. Also, there's maybe news of an Evo coming today. I don't have any leaks right now. I haven't seen anything on socials, but the refined flank runner is expiring today, and I got to finish this Evo, and I think you guys should too. If you haven't, that's a very, very good one. So make sure you check that one out, and we'll see if we get any evolutions today on Saturday. If we do get one, I would imagine it would be a free one, and it wouldn't be anything super crazy, but watch out for leaks pre-content for that. And the last thing that I want to just touch on real fast is this SBC for Koulibaly. It's expiring today, but Al Hilal put themselves and put this Koulibaly card in a really good position to get an upgrade after winning 5-3 yesterday, and after Koulibaly technically eclipsed we believe he is 1 away. Actually, he didn't get it. That was Schlotterbeck who got 12 defensive actions. I think Koulibaly has 11 defensive actions, and he is very close to getting a +1 upgrade. If they draw the next game, then he will get a +1 overall. If they keep the clean sheet, he will get the play styles that he needs. That's really what we're looking for with this card is the play style boost. But we need a clean sheet for that to happen, and they play 1 more game against a team who is very low in the table. So I'm not trying to sell you on this SBC. All I'm saying is if you want to do it, today's your last chance to do it before it does expire. So I thought might as well get it done. Might as well try this out just because this looks like an interesting card. It's a unique card. It's cool to daddy. And, why not, right? So that's why I'm putting this SBC together real quick. And we'll get Cool to Daddy done. Submit that. Dunzo. And we will be waiting for that next game, hoping to see him get an upgrade. And at least he can be usable in a Gauntlet squad. We have a new Gauntlet coming out on Monday, so we'll get him into a squad there and try that card out, but probably doesn't make the full weekend league team. Anyways, guys, that's the video for me today. Let me know in the comments who you're going to be picking from FPL today. We're going to be live streaming today on Saturday as well. We don't usually stream on Saturdays, but we're going to be today. We'll play a little bit of Foot Champs probably, maybe just chase some icon swaps, and then, of course, we will be watching those the pro free packs that we can get, and we'll be following the fantasy games for the upgrades that these cards from Team 2 and the cards out of packs from Team 1 could be earning themselves as well. But if you enjoyed this one, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you had a question, of course, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. Have a great Saturday. Peace out.